Hundreds of manatees have gathered here near the TECO power plant in Apollo Beach. You're looking here live at Eagle 8 HD, where we find Paul Lamison in Eagle 8 HD. Hey there, Paul. It looks like you found a lot of manatees.
Hey, JB. Not only do we have manatees, look at this. There's a shark. That's a shark. Right in front of it, that little skinny fish, that's a tarpon. We've also seen rays out here as well. So it's like it's Tampa Bay Nature Day up here in Eagle 8 HD. There's a shark, and that's a big shark. That thing's really big. We were watching them next to some manatees. So the shark is big. The manatees, you know they're big. The rays are big, but here, I want to show you something. You think, okay, there's some manatees. You think that's kind of neat. No, that's not neat. Look at that. Those are manatees. All those, every one of those dots, those are manatees. I think you could probably come in the water and walk across the manatees to get across. I don't think the manatees would like that, but there's so many. They're so close. They're huddled up for warmth. Look at this. Those are just beautiful creatures. You see on the back, those are prop scars from propellers from motors when they get hit. And there's a little baby right in there. See the baby coming up? This is just this nature. It's so neat. We're at the TECO Big Bend Power Plant down in southern Hillsborough County, right by Apollo Beach. And every year, all the manatees come into this warm water from the power plant, and the manatees just hang out here. It's like a big manatee party. And they all come in here and just hang out and get warm and just have a nice winter day here in Tampa. Look at this. Those are all, every single one of those manatees. JB, I want you to count them. Start counting while I talk. And when I come back, I'm going to ask you how many you've counted, because that's a lot. And that's not even all of them. I'm going to go out wider and show you. Oh, and here's a rare Eagle 8 shadow in the manatees right there. That, you don't see that too often, but that's an Eagle 8 shadow. Now look, back over here, I'm going to show you where the manatee viewing station is. That's right up here where you can go take a look. Oh, it must not be open today. I don't see a lot of people here. But anyway, you can come down here usually and look at the manatees. And today, a lot of times they're up in this shallow water. Today we see there's a shark. We're seeing sharks and all kinds of stuff. Look at that. There's a shark just swimming around, and they're up here because they know all the fish are up here, so they get free meals up here. It's like going to an all-you-can-eat buffet with the sharks. So they're up here hanging out, swimming. Here, I'm going to move the camera back and go back to all the manatees. There's some manatees, a couple more hanging out in the fringe. Now, this is where the manatee party is, right in here. I'll just pick a spot and zoom in. And there's your manatees. And this water's warm compared to Tampa Bay. There's a little baby. It's so neat to see that, the little baby right next to the mom. It's a manatee family. And it's just neat to hang out here and watch them as they just float in the water. And they come in here because the water is warm. I'll move the camera out wide again just to show you. See the water coming right out through here? That's warm water from the plant. And it just spills out into the bay, and it makes it like a little manatee hot tub. So they're right over here next to the water. There's one with his nose out. I always like when they come up for air. They don't need to come up too often. They can stay under a good long time. But there you go. There's a lot of manatees just milling around in the water, hanging out, having fun. And we see this every year. And this today, there's a lot of them because we had the real cold weather. Manatees don't like cold. So they come in, and manatees don't have jackets, so they have to find something else to stay warm. Where I can wear, like today, I'm wearing my new Purdue sweatshirt, so I'm wearing that. They don't have that, so they come down here and huddle around and stay warm in the water. Here we go, a little nose coming out with a little manatee next to him. Beautiful creatures, and you do know manatees are mammals, so that's why they're warm. They like to be warm. Now I'm going to move away from that little pod, and let's go check out over here. Earlier we saw sharks and we saw rays. There's the manatee all by himself, just swimming out in the lower shallow water. But this is where we saw the tarpon. These are tarpon right here. That's a good shot because, I mean, the water is so clear. Look at that. That's a beautiful fish. Now imagine going tarpon fishing and having the view from Eagle 8 where you can just throw your hook right there and catch this baby. That's going to take a while to pull this guy up onto the Eagle. I don't think we're technically allowed to fish from the helicopter, but we can see the fish. Now here's the shark. The sharks come over here. They were bothering the tarpon earlier. There's another kind of shark that I haven't seen yet. They're called spinner sharks. They will jump out of the water and spin and then jump back in. I haven't seen any of those yet, but this shark, he's just swimming in the shallow looking for something, anything to eat. And they're just floating around, swimming, and he'll go close to the tarpon. They don't really seem to bother the tarpon. I think they're all looking for the same smaller fish. But that shark, we've seen quite a few sharks out here, quite a few tarpon, everything out in the water. Let me pull out the camera wide and see if I can find you some rays. They were over earlier. I don't know where they went. Nope, those are all manatees, tarpon. Not seeing any rays. I think they might be under. We'll look for them in a little bit. But you see, there's some manatees over in the shallow water just hanging out at the bottom, relaxing, just in, this is beautiful, clear water. And now I'm going to move, oh, here comes some tarpon. That's always fun when you see the tarpon swim right by the manatee. There's a good shot. Tarpon by the manatee. Now earlier we saw tarpon, manatee, and rays all in the same shot with the shark. So that's kind of cool. Let's zoom in on these tarpon and watch them swim. Big, beautiful fish. And they're right by the manatees. I'm going to move the camera. Sorry, little tarpon. We found one ray. Where'd he go? There we go. Had to show you a ray. Now I hope they don't trade this ray away. I mean, we're going to need all the rays we can get. Oh, that's an eagle ray. That's a beautiful one. That's a big old ray. I don't think they're going to trade him to anybody today. We'll keep him, unlike Blake Snell and who else did they trade? They traded some other people, but they let Charlie Morton go. That's right. They didn't trade him. But there you go. There's a nice ray. That's good to see. Here, let's move the camera back out. Go down here to the big pod of manatee in the shallow water. Up there it is again. The rare Eagle 8 shadow. Don't get too close. You'll spook it. Here, we'll move by the... Down here, look at... This is just... There's so many. It's hard... I mean, there's just so many. I'm going to move over to the spillway because they're really over here. There you go. Now there's the shot, JB. I want you to count them. So there's a lot in there, and there's just, it's so neat. It's really a neat thing to see. It's nature out in person, and it's fun to look at, and it's fun to see. Oh, here's some more rays. Right
Paul,
here.
I'm going to guess 492. We're going to go with that.
I counted 487, so maybe you're counting some of the, you know the difference between rays and tarpons, I hope. So look at this. Look how pretty this is. This is just, I'm enjoying this up here. Look at this. The rays swimming with the tarpon. That's some cool stuff. Yeah, these are spotted. I think they're called eagle rays. I'm not sure. I'm not super big on my rays trivia. I know a lot of the Rays players, but I don't think these are on the Tampa Bay Rays.
We got some
But
great
they look
commenters
good.
here on Facebook, Paul. Perhaps they can let us know which species of ray that we're looking at here, but absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it's just amazing to see the nature that's just, a lot of times we take it for granted. We're up here in the helicopter and we're like, oh, got to go fly, go for spot news. This is by far and away my favorite thing to do. Just come over and nature watch. Let's look at just, you go real close on these manatees. Look at that. This guy's so slow and hangs out so well, he has barnacles build up on him. That's how you tell you're a cool manatee, when you're so slow and so sloth-like, you have grown barnacles on yourself, because the barnacles only grow on steady objects. So that's a cool manatee right there. And it's just neat how many there are in here. It's just so fun to just look at them and just see them. And it's nature. It's something that happens. At one point there was manatees were on the endangered species list, and Florida really took over and protected them and made it a priority. And now you see we have a lot of them now, and they're off the endangered species list. They're still cool animals to look at, still fun to hang out and look at, but it's great to just see these things, the gentle giants hanging out. I'm going to go back from manatees. Let's check out the shark situation again.
Paul, I want to hop in here really quickly because you can see here on your screen here, folks, Vanessa Healed in the comments section. My kids identified them as spotted eagle rays from their oceans curriculum that they did a while back. Yes, you're looking here live at spotted eagle rays, Paul.
Yeah, see, I think I got it kind of right, but I'm glad kids are smarter than me because they learn a lot more. I don't really learn much anymore. I'm pretty old and I just kind of exist. But the kids, I'm in class doing the online school, they're learning a lot. This, they can sign onto their website and see nature in real life right now. Here, let me find Mr. Tarpon again. Going right through the little hazy water. Let's get a good shot of him. There he is. I mean, these are the things people line up to, they go down to Boca Grande and try to catch these, and they're just up here milling around, just enjoying some food and enjoying a nice relaxing day. There's some tarpon for you. Oh, there's somebody out there looking, enjoying them. What do we got here? There's some more rays. Yep, the spotted ones. See how close we can get. Oh, yeah, there's something, Mickey said something jumped, and those are the spinner sharks. So we'll see if we can see them. You have to kind of stay wide because you never know where they're going to jump, but they'll jump out of the water, spin, and land back in. They're really tough to see, but here are the rays going around again. Again, it's a beautiful day up here. Again, we're at the TECO Big Bend Power Plant down in Apollo Beach, and we're just looking at manatees. Nothing really news about this, just fun to do, fun to see, fun to just take your mind off it and just look at nature and look at the manatee up huddled next to the power plant, keeping warm in our cold Florida day. Now, people up north, they're not going to think it's cold. Today's not cold, but at night it does still get cold, so the manatees are still all huddling down here, coming down to this area, hanging out in this one area, and that's what they're doing. So there you go. There's a bunch of them just hanging out, having fun. So, JB, I'll throw it back to you. You can ask any of the viewer questions, see if they have anything. Right now, we're just up here looking at manatee.
And if anybody has any questions or if they would like for us to look for anything in these waters near Apollo Beach, I'm keeping an eye here on the Facebook Live comment section. You can use hashtag HeyJB or hashtag HeyPaul to get our attention. Paul, I tried to do a recount there on the manatees, and I lost count somewhere in the hundreds. I think I'm going to have to start over.
Yeah, you could. Here, we'll do it together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. we won't be able to stay up by the time we count all those. And this is just a small section of them. They're up and down this whole little canal area. They're spread all the way out, and some of them are even ventured out. Here, I'll show you this. Some have ventured down to the end, and they go out into the bay. And you have a little bit of boats down here, and they're hanging out fishing because they know that's where you can fish anytime you have a bunch of fish. And they're watching. The manatees are coming right up to these boats, and even right up here to this beach. If you've never been to this beach, I really don't want to show it because I don't want a lot of people going there because it's a beautiful area. It's down at the end of Apollo Beach. You go all the way to Apollo Beach, and look at this park. Plenty of parking. There's some facilities. Then you make your trek out onto this little beach area. And look at that. That's Florida for you. And you're sometimes the manatees swim right up to the shore. It's really close, and it's right here where all the manatees are. So it's a really cool area. This is a beautiful area down here. And here's the other portion I was showing you in the shallow water. Watch how close we can zoom into these things. I'll zoom in. I guess I should probably focus a little. There you go. But, I mean, look at that, how close we can get. Mom and the baby. Look at that. That's just beautiful. Coming up for air. The little baby spinning around. There's some more. So that's what we're doing today. Not a lot of, I mean, this is just fun to do. So here, I'm going to show you the Big Bend power plant. If you see this, if you're down on Bayshore, you've seen this. This is the TECO Big Bend power plant, and it's a coal burning plant. I think it's coal. They do something, because here's the coal out in the area, but they're generating electricity, and the water is used to cool down machinery, and so they make sure it's treated, and then they dump it right back out into the bay, and it's warm. So it's like a big bathtub or a big hot tub for these manatees, and that's why we have all these manatees down in this area. So every year in winter, we'll come down here and just take a look. It's just fun to see all these manatees in one area. So that's why we're here. Nothing other than just fun manatees to look at and to rub it into people up north. Anybody watching from up north, getting snow, getting cold weather. Yeah, it's a beautiful, probably 74 degrees out here. I'm going to move away from the manatees just to rub it into the northerners here. I'll do this for them. Look at this day. Look at this beautiful day. Not a cloud in the sky. There's downtown St. Petersburg. You see the trop over there. And that's what we deal with every day. Here, we'll even look over here. That's Skyways over in that direction. But look at this. This is Tampa Bay for you. You guys don't move here. We have enough people here, but this is a beautiful area. There's downtown Tampa. And let's move back into the nice warm water and all the manatees. Okay, JB, I'm going to throw it back to you. We're probably going to have to get going in a little bit, but thank you guys for hanging out and watching Manatees on Facebook. Manatees, sharks, rays, and tarpon.
Paul, we got a few comments. We got a few comments coming in here, Paul.
Okay.
So let's take a couple of the comments that have just coming in now. Again, you can use hashtag HeyJB, hashtag HeyPaul before Eagles got to head back to the nest here. Karen Shirk here in the Facebook Live comment section, hashtag HeyPaul. Show us the spinner sharks. So maybe we could give it one last go.
Those are the hardest things to find. I mean, you'll see them. What happens is you never know where they're going to jump, and it doesn't seem like there are too many here, so it's hard to find. I've been trying. That's an elusive thing. And every so often you'll just see it jump out of the corner of your eye when you look, and it's in the water already. So I'd love to get a nice shot of those, but so far I haven't been able to. I try every time we're here. I look for them, but I haven't seen any really today. So we're looking, but we haven't seen them. We've seen other sharks, but we haven't been able to get those to jump. So I'm trying. I'd like to get you a spinner shark video, but right now it's just not happening.
Another comment coming in here from Carolina Islands. Who tipped you off on this gathering, Paul? Hashtag Hey Paul.
These here every year, and I've been at Channel 8 for a long time, and we always fly down here and take a look. There's a couple spots where they hang out. This is a big one down here. The water's really warm. And also up in northern part of our viewing area, up towards Homosassa, there's springs up there, and they go. The difference up there, the water is not as warm as it is here. This is probably the warmest water, so this is the biggest gathering of the manatees. So every year we come down here and look and take a look, and it's just fun to see. I've even been here on the ground. You can go to the viewing station when it's open and come in, and you have to go online and look because it doesn't look like it's open today. But it's a fun place if you can get down here. Beautiful nature, beautiful place to go, and it's great just to watch. And look at this. There's manatees, and these are tarpon right next to them. So they're the tarpon going right up to the manatees. And that's what we like to look at, just watch them interact. So any more comments, we can try to answer them, but I'd love to
We'll throw
get
just
a
one or
spinner
two more
shark.
up here on screen. We got Debbie Novak watching here, hashtag Hey Paul in Michigan. Thanks for the view.
You're welcome, Michigan. I know it's cold up there. My daughter goes to school, not in Michigan, but in Indiana. I have one at Purdue, and I know they're cold. She's home now, but she'll go back. Then I have another in upstate New York, which is really cold. So this is great for them to be here in nice warm weather and just get to enjoy. So welcome, Michigan. Thank you for being in the house.
And then lastly here we have Nikita Hauser, hashtag Hey Paul. I love this area. I go every weekend to go fishing. Lovely place. We're about to wrap up here, Paul. Any final thoughts before you have to head back to the nest?
No, again, just it's fun to look at, fun to watch, great place. And I love to come out and just look at nature. And I'm going to give you another secret. And again, everybody don't go all at once because then you're going to clog up my great nature place I like to go. If you want to see cool nature up close and in person in Polk County, it's called Circle B Bar Reserve. It's fabulous. You walk around, you see all kinds of birds. Last time I was there, I saw all kinds of birds. I saw raccoons. I saw everything there. It's just a beautiful place, a beautiful osprey. You see everything out there. That's another place to see nature. And as I'm talking, here's a big shark. So I'll leave you with the shark, and we'll throw it back to you, JB.
Thanks, Paul. Appreciate it. To everybody watching on WFLA Now, thanks so much for being with us. With Eagle 8 HD's Paul Lamison, I'm JB Buno. More to come in the hours ahead here live on WFLA Now. You can get the very latest news around Tampa Bay on WFLA.com and the WFLA app. Thanks so much for watching, folks.